Well, when Sachiko mentioned that I could reach death sooner, I then got an idea of just giving that a try.
We can commit suicide together. It would be sexy.
I concur.
Would it, though?
He starts walking upstairs, continue.
One of the cinders follows Artemis.
Noel, you overheard all of these.
I will take my super caffeinated coffee.
Yeah, it's definitely in your system. What do you want to do while it's taking effect?
If Sachiko is very bored, then Noel opens his dress, which functions as a fucking trench coat, pulls the one arm out, showing him the many goods and refined drugs. If you got time to kill and $20.
Is there a stimulant in there?
There is indeed. There is XL.
And how can I pay for it now that we don't have the concept of money anymore?
Well, you can start being a little kinder. And also, I just want to see what happens.
Best salesperson ever.
You can pay in being a test subject, as long as I can make some notes.
I do agree with the kinder thing, though.
The point about being kind is that when I'm friendly with people, I'm contish in a specific way. And when I'm an enemy, I try to get them killed. So
During Sachiko saying this, I'm just pushing the drugs further closer. I'm not listening. I just want you to take it. If she doesn't trust me, then we could both go get some fresh from the medical unit and take them together.
if there is 0 chance of me dying, I will take it.
You take the Exeliates. Your senses are sharpened, voices in your head, all the lines of thought in your head can be separated and each have a watch point of their own. You're pretty up and running right now.
Sachiko puts it in this way. She says, feeling really confident, but that's clearly bullshit. I feel like I want to hug Cinder, and also I feel like my perception has been dialed up to 11.
Artemis and Cinder.
Do I hear or see Amelia?
You personally don't.
Do I?
Hear her very faintly thinking that she's on the 2nd floor.
Ooh, now's my time to go die.
Cinder gets a light in her eye, too, and looks towards the backpack with the items in it.
Yeah. Is Cinder still eyeing the backpack?
Yes.
Artemis, oh, go on then. And he'll go back into the boiler room and wait for you.
Do the things look like they are easily grabbable and just run?
Yes, but they will alert the skin.
For the sake of the joke, can Artemis have another printed out face of Logan and stick it on his discombobulator?
Sure.
Can I make sure to get to the hiding spot in a way that will let me get there efficiently and jump in?
So here's the thing. There were 2 hiding spots previously. Heavy weapon bag, big crate that's set low on the ground under the shelf. Now, there is no heavy weapon bag on the ground. The low big crate is there, but now there is also room available in one of the exoskeleton pods, the one for the prototype, and that's set a little higher, and you can fit in there as well. So the pod, higher, very tight and compact. Then there is the crate set on the ground without a lid, very wide and big. Which one do you prefer to jump into?
I'm gonna look for skin in the pod first.
No skin.
I much prefer that.
Tight pod, set up high against the wall. So, do you want to initiate the plan?
Yeah. Artemis will also just be shouting and making annoying noises from the boiler room.
You hear right to the door, bursting in. She starts looking at the ground, quickly noticing that after the door is opened, there is some of the trash that has been pushed in with the breathing of the house. Then she starts looking around, and you almost see her fingers start to count. She looks at the box and the shelves, and she just does one finger. And then she looks at the pod, below to above, does one, shakes her body as if to check how tightly it would be and how hard it would be for her to fit in, does 2, and opens the pod. Now you're in a fray. You are on your senses. From the very first moment, you can react.
I mean, she's just gonna try and dodge and disengage.
Cinder tries to dodge, but actually gets hit One of your legs you think breaks. Again, second round of fray.
She's going to spend her round tossing those items into the boiler room.
Artemis, do you try to grab them?
No. Artemis doesn't care about the items because he will use his stupid discombobulator. Yeah, it's gonna be useless, but yeah.
You throw the discombobulator in the room. Cinder starts throwing these items out while you hear. Just go away, forgotten. And then a broken cinder, beaten to an inch of her life, thrown into the boiler, and now with you, Artemis.
As she's passing out, you just hear, worth it.
And again, you think that Amelia seemed to refrain from killing.
Interesting. You know what? Oh, shit, I can't use it now. Never mind.
Artemis would shout, Sachiko, bring the mummy bags!
Succ would like to go and study Cinder with her medics and see if she can be helped without using the mummy bags.
You think she can be, but mummy bags specifically give a full body healing once each. It would be a waste to use them on minor wounds.
Okay, so I guess we gotta use one of the mummy bags.
The other two cinders will rush up and look to Artie, questionable, then look down at the items that were thrown into the room and just sigh.
Yeah, she goes to the pit pot, takes one, and comes up and uses it on the dying Cinder.
All right, you feel like you have much more focus and no panic while you're doing all of this due to the drug that Noel gave you. Noel, you can note further that her focus is enhanced as well. It's very hard to distract her when she sets her mind to something, but she is aware of things as well. You notice that she is faster in movement as well, but a little less dexterous, in fact.
Am I noticing my bad choice yet? The coffee.
Yeah, you think you're getting a very, very strong buzz. Anything that coffee would normally do for you, now amped up to like 10 times more. You couldn't sleep if you wanted to anymore. Not for the rest of your life, but yeah, for a very long time. And Noel, do you want to follow her up as well, or are you just chilling? All right.
Nah, I'm gonna follow.
And you see Sachiko start to use this mummy bag on this broken cinder, and you see lines and wires wrap around the different extremities and pull in, tighten up like splinters, almost substitute whatever is broken with different parts set within the mummy bag itself so that the person can very quickly then function and breathe and come back to consciousness almost instantly, be battle ready and almost just as good as before, but still more exposed to damage, at least for like a day or two. Cinder, you're back up.
Ow!
Sachiko strokes Cinder's hair and says, "Oh my god, what did you do? What reckless thing you did. We are all crazy in the apocalypse, just in different ways."
Yeah, no, that was dumb, but I got some good information out of it.
Sachiko gets up, goes to Artemis, now that she has extra confidence, and says, "Hey, pat my head the way you patted that glowy monster downstairs."
It's not exactly the same, but all right. And he starts doing it.
Sachiko's morale goes up.
Can Artemis look for garbage and stuff around, by the way?
Sure, there's lots of garbage, but mostly in the form of just pieces of paper, little leaves, things like that.
He'll have a peek out without leaving the boiler room as well at all the garbage and stuff. Also, Amelia didn't close the door and stuff as well?
Yeah, she did. Just cleaned up the room, closed the door carefully, and then left.
All right. And what were the items that Air threw in?
A container for Katra, the original Asher's collar, and another amplifier as well, which again inspired the father to make his own, and a note.
Can Artemis read it and use his between the lines perk?
Sure. He no longer needs these. He loves me most now. And I'm not evil like you. I don't put colors on him or any of my pets. You can keep all that is cruel and evil. That's what it says. From between the line, you would understand there is a sense of cheekiness when writing this, but it is to cover up for a sense of grief. And you can connect it to the previous notes as well, where she would flush things down that she wants to, again, send to the forgotten, quote unquote. She would either throw them in the forget room, which would be the boiler, or flush them, as she would call it, down these elevators. Probably something happened to Asher, and Amelia wrote this, turning the anger towards this Logan and doing this.
At what stage was she at? And mutation and stuff when she wrote this?
You think she was pretty mutilated?
Right.
The Cinder that almost died will explain exactly what she saw with Amelia, what she did, what she noticed, how her pattern went to everyone.
So I actually don't get it because I wanted to say that when Artemis starts looking around, Sachiko sneaks down and sneakily goes back to the office.
Noel, if you don't say anything, Sachiko goes unnoticed, but your senses are fucking sharp as hell.
No, I'm gonna keep quiet and let her do her thing.
I'm not trying to hide from Noel. I'm trying to hide from whatever the fuck is downstairs.
I'm gonna stay quiet though and not try and give away that we're up here.
You go down.
I don't see anything.
Nope, none. Nothing has changed, nothing is new, and the computer is still logged in as well.
Sachiko, since she's frustrated again, she moves the computer.
She becomes a cam girl.
Where Chico looked earlier, can I use surveillant to see if anything has changed at all? Or is really everything the same?
You can check, and you don't think anything has changed with your perks either. So you're pretty damn sure nothing has changed.
Right, okay.
So I want to look at the third footage, and also she mutters under her breath, "Crazy girl." She keeps calling others reckless, but then she goes and does the most reckless thing.
Whilst Chico does this, I'm just gonna keep guard and listen as hard as I possibly can.
All right, I'll just tell you if you hear anything. Artemis and the Cinders.
I'll let the Cinders go first, because he's just going to be checking on the Cinder that got fucked. For now.
Cinder Center is going to get on her knees and wipe hair out of her face and be like, why? We could have gotten rid of the Amelia first. The other Cinder just kind of shakes her head and says, we weren't going to be to that point in a long time. We've got to find ways to weaponize, and what was in that bag is a way to do it. I understand, but honey, that was really dumb.
Also, Artemis, his main goal, because obviously the Cinders are fine, he will just go to inventions, which I shall tell you later today.
All right.
So he'll be spending quite a few rounds doing inventions and stuff.
All right. And anything else, Cinder? You have a little bit of a round left.
Cinder's just grabbing what she found and takes it down, all her other goodies.
Noel and Sachiko, you guys can hear the ASMR background sounds of progress from both Artemis and Cinder. You know that the third entry, the butler, is there again as well. There seems to have been a little bit of a fight maybe between Norman and Laura, that they're hiding from the kids. They just come and they seem to be, overview as staying there for the duration of a storm. What do you want to look for?
Through these footages, is it my impression that Norman's love for his family is really, really genuine?
Yep, so far everything suggests that it's very genuine. The background in crime not only making him more paranoid about this one thing now he has discovered he can't tolerate losing, and with his plans and delving more into the crime life, he's trying to even perhaps justify that his crime will help him keep the family safe.
So my question is this: do I feel like Norman is hiding stuff from Batilaman too?
No, he seems to actually trust Batilaman. Like you feel like from knowing Norman that this is more to do with him feeling like he understands Laman and thus can trust him. It's as if a friendship is built on Lawman being predictable in Norman's mind and already under control.
Quickly, 2 questions. So if someone had this theory that maybe the lawman was the real boss, it seems to be proven false with these footages. And lastly, what is Buddy Lawman's attitude toward Laura when Norman and Laura are fighting? Is he like indifferent? Is he like, this cunt? Or is he like, this woman is going to prove a problem?
So if you hadn't gotten a shitload of successes, this would have been hidden. So Sachiko feels like she picked up on something very small. You think that the butler has a little bit of panic when there are problems between Norman and Laura. So doesn't like for there to be tension. Perhaps because he cares about Norman, perhaps because he cares about Laura, or perhaps because there's some other reason.
There's some other reason. I know it.
And Noel, you can hear these as she's looking through the footage.
You would have never noticed that about my drugs. Didn't stand a chance.
Sachiko turns to Noel and says, thanks for the mini-meth, buddy. It's really helping.
This is why we shouldn't use our resources on anything else but my drug creation. I feel that there is nothing more valuable.
Sachiko says, I 100% agree, but she's just under the influence. Would it be completely disproven, like leaves no doubt that maybe Buddy Lawman is actually Norman's boss, or...
You don't know how trustworthy Norman's view on Buddy being predictable is. He is just open to trusting people only when he thinks he has them figured out. That's what you've gathered from his personality. Still, their behavior is as if it's a mix of friendship, a strong friendship, and employer-employee, at least to Norman.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Cinder?
The Cinders are going to be just going through all their supplies, helping Artemis make items.
You have an assist dice for weapon making because she is very skilled with weapon construction as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gonna have some amazing useless inventions.
No. They're going to be useful because I shall make sure they are.
I mean,
They are going to have some type of use, even if it is ridiculously stupid.
Oh yes, they definitely will have that.
The center is going to go with Alice. Wright is going to help out with Artemis as well.
Those two are helping with Artemis. Anything specific or...
So the one with Alice is just going to reassure her and see if she can help in any way with the pain that Alice is feeling.
If you were to train her back to be stronger, and she does have the potential to grow lots of strong muscles, it could both boost her endurance and also perhaps prevent some hurt from higher up her spine around her neck that is normally just happening because of the bad form that's brought about by her mixed genes.
Okay, is there any way that while we're working on strengthening, Cinder can get some type of, or make some type of splint that will keep her in a good position in her neck to keep it from hurting her too much, just giving her more support?
Yep. And there's only room for goodness.
Wonderful.
Also, I can tell you about Artemis, one of Artemis's first inventions that he wants to make. It's like a 3-set lens of glasses. That's what it is. So you like pull them down.
You can do something maybe a little helping you with the time and giving you more quality, and make this an augmentation on top of the goggles that are already there for the precision station.
Ooh, definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sachiko and Noel.
Bucket number 5.
Family coming down. There's a storm. This time, however, you see that in the footage, the pods are there. Norman seems generally much more concerned. And while they're spending their time there, you think that Norman and Lawman continue with plans they seemed to have already been doing previously, even during the time of this, storm. So it seems like they try to hide it from the rest of the family and mask it as if they're doing something else. But in the office, they're just checking files, checking documents, checking maps, and perhaps even marking out some of the things that have been marked out right now, but you can't tell. They're doing it in a way that's planned out before to not show up well on the camera, but seem like it's just normal. You just know it's probably planning because of the context you already have. Otherwise, you see that Norman seems to place orders that are adding to other orders from different systems. You can't tell quite what he's ordering, but he's preparing. He's like, the two of them are going full apocalypse prep. And you know that as Sachiko, at this time, you don't remember public news of the apocalypse. But some of the people who weren't taken seriously in some crime syndicates did have some insight into things having been going on.
First of all, the interaction between Buddy and Norman, does it have subtle changes when they are working together? Like, does that employee mask slip even at very short seconds?
With Norman, he seems to be the one who believes most in the employer thing, but you think it's not stopping him from the friend thing. The reason why he's being extra friendly is not only because he likes Buddy, but also because he feels like this is how he keeps him predictable. Artemis?
I haven't analyzed it that much, but the, super sticky substance, do I know about anything about its properties, like how it could be harvested, perhaps?
You know that the glands have a function to push the material off of the wall, at least for a bit. So if you were to somehow discover how you could order the glands to do so, how you could cause the glands to spit out the substance, that's an easy way to harvest it.
I'm going to make a giant spider web and trap the whole world.